She had a gun.
What you mean she had a gun?
She shot Teddy.
What?
He's dead. You ended my fucking life! Don't ever go behind my fucking back again, you hear me?
I'll talk to her.
It's really how you want this shit then.
Snowfall Season 6, Series Finale, The Struggle. This is the last episode of Snowfall, and after years of entertainment, twists and turns, unbelievable character development, and achievements, we finally reached the end. Was this the proper ending? Did Franklin Saint get what he deserved? Or is this a tragic tale of what the love of money can do to a man's soul? Let's dive into these questions and many more. So the opening scene, Franklin appears in the bar. Notice that it's now dark outside. When his mother shot Teddy, it was broad daylight. So this means Franklin's been running around until he felt safe and clear for hours minimum. This is why he showed up so disheveled. He's even out of breath here.
She just sat there.
Franklin, I need you to breathe with me, okay? Just stay with me, all right?
She said goodbye.
He is in absolute disbelief here. Tears falling. In so many ways, he is heartbroken, and the dreams of having the money he so desperately desired is gone. Like door closed, no other options, it's over. And his mother, the woman he loved the most, the person who held him down the most, is not only responsible, but she also threw her life away in the process. Just in the blink of an eye, the flash of a gun, most of Franklin's life is gone.
We will figure this out. Could you come back, please? Right now, come back.
You can hear V telling Franklin to come home. She knew he needed comfort, support, and love. But with this, his will and spirit is broken. He just sat at the bar crushed under the realization that all the hard work, murders, scheming, and lives ruined, he is left with next to nothing. I spoke about this in the Evolution of Franklin Saint video, and if you haven't seen that, go check it out. Also, I might repeat some of the points in this video, but I'll talk about it a little bit more in depth and try to provide a different commentary and perspective. But Franklin sustained from drinking throughout the entirety of this show, because as he told Mel in season 1,
I don't know. This don't make me feel good. Like just all tired and slow.
also he never wanted to end up like Alton. But once you lose your willpower, there is nothing left to stop you from tumbling down the darkest roads. Alcohol for many is used as a coping mechanism, and at this moment, what he needed the most is to zone out, get away, numb the pain by any means necessary. Check this out. Even with his mind gone, it's still some hesitation in his action. He knows just how devastating this decision can be. At this moment, the struggle, the downhill spiral begins. The dark place that Leon spoke about last episode in reference to killing Teddy is actually coming from Teddy being killed and his money being gone.
I tell you, you don't want to go to the place you're about to go. It's hell down there, and you don't even know if you'll be able to pull yourself back up.
In this moment, he found the only possible thing that could numb the pain. Ironically, it will also be the single driving force for him losing everything else he ever had. Now, from this point on, the show is just tying up loose ends while Franklin continues to unravel. He drops off Ruben.
Okay, look, listen. You know, I don't expect a handout, all right? I'll take the $500K that I already owe you. I'll add the $3 million, okay? And then I'll sell you an ownership stake in Spring Street.
Scrambling and grasping for straws at this point, Franklin sounds crazy. The nerve of him to ask Leon for his last $3 million in order to fund his real estate ventures. It's still so bizarre to me that he's still holding on to this particular dream. I just can't seem to think of any rational reason as to why. But maybe that's the point. He's not thinking rational at all right now.
Why do you think Sissy did what she did?
Ain't no why, nigga. She murdered Teddy in broad daylight in full view of 100 people, including a CIA officer, when her fucking son was about to be handed $37 million.
Oh, she sacrificed herself to keep you safe, to keep us all safe from...
Leon is absolutely right here. Sissy sacrificed herself in hopes that Franklin, without the money or Teddy looming over him, his life would be spared and that he could bounce back, pick up the remaining pieces and move forward in a positive direction and rebuild his empire without the drugs. She was dead wrong in her assumptions, but nothing up to this point ever showed us that Franklin wouldn't figure it out and recover. You could have never guessed that he was going to break in that manner and just fold under pressure.
She didn't want you to have.
And you for real right now, after everything I've done for you, you gonna sit there with a life raft and watch me fucking drown? Nigga, I'm the reason y'all niggas got this fucking money in the first place.
He sounds exactly like Teddy at this point. Can you hear the resemblance?
She didn't want you to have.
And you for real right now, after everything I've done for you, you gonna sit there with a life raft and watch me fucking drown? Nigga, I'm the reason y'all niggas got this fucking money in the first place.
That's your fucking money! It's my cocaine, and it's my operation. I made you what you are.
Teddy felt the exact same way about him. This money is really controlling them. And just like Teddy, Franklin is dead wrong. But he also fails to realize the irony in his behavior here.
I plead guilty of killing the CIA officer who helped our government flood these streets with cocaine.
That's enough.
Then use that money to fund an illegal war.
Sissy had decided to become the martyr, hearkening back to her Black Panther roots and willing to go down in order to spread the truth about the American government and the CIA's role in distributing the cocaine into our urban environments. This detective's been on Franklin for years, so of course he shows up to the hearing.
Yeah, Arenabe's dead.
Yeah. And so are Andre Wright, and Kevin Hamilton, and Jerome Saint.
He mentions some major character deaths that have occurred all throughout, which were all tied to Franklin in one way or another.
Then do something about it then, nigga. Uncle Tom ass nigga.
I think this is one of the funniest lines for some reason.
I'm going back to Ghana.
Wanda decides to go back to Africa, which I completely agree with. I never thought they should have came back, and I also believe Leon should have left with her.
Can't run your mouth like that again, Mama. You hear me?
She doesn't even want to speak to him. She stares at Franklin without even blinking.
10 seconds. You couldn't wait 10 fucking seconds?
10 seconds. I definitely think what she did was wrong, but clearly what Franklin isn't seeing is she didn't just snap and kill Teddy. She made her mind up prior to this, that he was never getting that money. Of course she could have waited, but she felt he didn't need or deserve that money. She thought that she was doing the right thing, but in this moment, she realized that Franklin still doesn't get it. Maybe she is also still pissed about him choosing the money over her. I'm unsure why Franklin is living here now at this moment, but maybe it's all he has, this and the warehouse. But it is telling that he isn't with V and that he is doing everything all on his own. Hiding his drinking and moving on his own accord, and she clearly is doing the same thing. It's a ton of blueprints and developments all over this house, which shows you this is the only thing consuming Franklin's mind.
I made a deal to sell the South Central property so we could finance Spring Street for as long as possible.
You sold all of the South Central buildings? Today? Well, shit. You just threw it all away?
No.
You just sunk us.
No, I don't think I have.
No?
No. But even if I have, I built it.
Now Franklin making moves out of spite and to flex his power. Franklin put his hands on V and she doesn't back down for 1 second. We all knew at this moment it was a wrap.
Franklin's lost. One of the greatest tragedies of my life. But you are one of my greatest surprises.
Sissy is willing to speak to Leon, which shows you she is very upset with Franklin and his actions over the past few days. These two created a strong bond ever since she took care of him when he was hiding after the shooting.
Miss Turner, she was here this morning and made a substantial cash withdrawal.
This is the moment that Franklin realized it was all gone and what V had did. What she did was listen to exactly what he asked her to do if the plan didn't work.
Baby, if it doesn't work, I need you to leave the country. Liquidate the properties. This is what I want. For our our baby.
He keeps drinking and drinking after every blow to his empire. The perfect analogy is Franklin Empire being this gigantic tree, and there is a lumberjack just chopping away at it. Each blow is another chunk of the tree gone, and some blows are more significant than others, but if you stopped at any point, the tree would still stand. But the blows just never stop because the lumberjack is too drunk to recognize the damage he is causing. The answer to your problems are never at the bottom of the bottle.
So listen, Veronique, she fucked me. She robbed me.
He knows he has lost it all, and the only person he can turn to is his mom. That's a tragedy. He is begging and scrambling for any cash he can get, just like the addicts he used to serve. She's clearly not gonna do anything to assist him at this point. Sissy never speaks to Franklin again after this conversation in episode 9.
And you and I will never see each other again. Can you live with that?
Yes.
That's a shame. What he said and the decision he made in that moment truly is what caused him everything. It's because he lost sight of what really mattered and why he started this journey in the first place. The alcohol has Franklin living in a messy state, literally. Franklin was hoping this call was the answer to his prayers. Now finally Franklin finds Peaches after all of this time, strung out, barely coherent. Then he finds out that there is no significant amount of money left in this safe, and it completely crushes him all over again. He got his hopes up just to be shot down again. He definitely didn't need to kill this man. 2 years later, we see Louis still on the run, hiding out. The DA is hot on her tail, and they are not giving up. We can see that this is the life Louis will live until the day she dies or she gets caught. Gustavos is back to his wrestling roots, enjoying his life. 1 year later, Leon is walking the streets and some young boys try to press him. Franklin's living in truly awful circumstances and in bad shape at this point. Boy, this is some of the saddest moments I've ever witnessed because you couldn't help but root for this man over the years, and now we have to watch him like this. Jail, death, making it out on top would have been much more palatable, but this is how it all ends for him? Tragedy.
Sup with Wanda? She finally leave your ass? She go back to her first love?
In this awful condition Franklin in, he still has the nerve to clown Wanda for being on drugs years ago. She drug herself out of the mud from an impossible situation and made something of herself, while Franklin has totally given up on his life.
Everybody gotta have a dream.
Everybody gotta have a dream, and he had one once upon a time.
That bitch Veronique. Motherfucker bounced like a bad check soon as the money was gone.
She didn't leave soon as the money was gone. She actually tried to help you and bail you out.
I don't get it, Lee. Women? I don't get it. Sexy chocolate nigga like me can't keep a bitch.
Yeah, that is funny. They're shooting a movie in the hood, and with all the references to boys in the hood throughout this show's history, we know exactly what movie this is.
Y'all ain't gonna win no Oscar.
And they did not win an Oscar, although John Singleton was nominated for Best Director and Best Writing. Childs is still open in the final episode just like it was in the first. The last time we seen Leon, Franklin was asking him for money. Now look at the circumstances in which he's asking for it.
Listen, you got $10 on you. You don't understand, yo. I ain't got no fucking change on me, man. I'm free. Free from all of it.
This has got to be one of the saddest, most emotional endings I've ever seen. Franklin's declaration of being free is gut-wrenching, especially when you realize that this was his ultimate goal from the beginning.
So you are after something.
Fucking right.
And what's that?
Freedom. Freedom from all of it.
It's a double-edged sword, as he was searching for freedom from poverty and tough times originally, trying to get free from it all. But once he had the money, the power, the respect, it all still had him in bondage, suffering from success. He wasn't free either. Even though he had everything he ever wanted, he was trapped by the money, a slave to his circumstances, the CIA, the money, and he had no escape. But now,
I'm free. Free from all of it.
This show started off with three best friends in the hood trying to get by, and in the end, all we're left with is Franklin, who's a shell of himself, and Leon, who's made something of himself. Franklin has only one person throughout this entire series who stayed by his side through it all, and that's Leon. He's been there from the start. Now they walk in two different directions just as their lives have gone. It's the same street that they laughed and joked on years earlier. Now they walk alone, heartbroken and apart. This show is incredible from the start, and I enjoy every breakdown, the attention to details, and all the Easter eggs. What a fantastic journey we all experienced in watching this show. And it's one of the shows that's worthy of watching over and over again.